Hello, my name is Brian, and this is Brian's voice. Well, I'm Brian, and this is my voice. And this week, I've been trying so hard not to talk about this, but eventually, it just had to come out. You need to know this about me. My shame, my pride, my lust, all the sins at once. Combine into my love of professional wrestling. It started out, as all great things did, in the 90s. The WWF. No, not the World Wildlife Foundation, the World Wrestling Federation. I didn't even know what a federation was, but I knew that there was a world of wrestlers in it. Saturday mornings were never the same, as is evident by, you're trying to see, that's a wrestling. You see the others? There's others there. Much merch. Behold, a comic I wrote about wrestling. I adore it so much. I will, hand on heart, say to you now that I believe that professional wrestling is the greatest form of entertainment on the planet, bar none. Like an actual none. They're great. Action, storytelling, fan interaction. It has it all. So much so I made a poster of it. Do you want to see? Bam! Has it all. Action, entertainment, drama, fan interaction. That's me! I adore it. And it also drives me absolutely insane with frustration. I've been watching wrestling since before I knew about the desire to become intimate with another human. And much like wanting to be intimate, it's tricky to maintain the relationship for a long time. Because in the 90s, I just saw action, characters, fun. I went to the live events with my dad in the Point Theatre. The old Point Depot. And now it's the sponsorship arena. Just people battering each other. I loved it. Until I found out the truth. That some of them were American. Such a weird... It's kind of like magic in a way. You love it for what you're told it is. Wrestling, it's fights. They're real stories. Real people. And then you find out that there's an art to it. Much like magic. And that's where a lot of people drop out. And go, well, it's not real, it's fake. No! Movies, television, Italian football. So you think, that's what most people drop out when they realise there's an art to getting out of the way in the beautiful spandex pantomime. And then something else happened where I started to learn about real, fake wrestling. And the skill and diligence that these people have. 2 people enter, technically 3, if you're counting the referee. I do have a personal affinity for referees. Wink. But the idea that two people are going to fight, this live action stage play, and the grading of doing a good job means the fans believe it and you are able to do it again tomorrow. What? There's teams of stunt people in Hollywood who do not have the diligence and constitutional toughness to be professional wrestlers. And that's just the physicality of it. Then there's the storytelling. What is called promos. When they're on a microphone looking another guy or girl dead in the eye saying, I'm going to fight you for reasons I will now lay out in public because you stole my banana. You're like, oh, they stole the banana. Ooh, boo, boo, you potassium stealing harlot. And that's weeks of television. And I'm adjusting. I'm not doing anything filthy. I'm adjusting me blanket. It's cold. Don't judge me. Like, depending on when you start watching wrestling is indicative of your attitude towards wrestling. So I started watching wrestling in the 90s when, much like Pokemon, it had never been more popular. It had taken over the public zeitgeist. It was everywhere, and everywhere, all at once. Ironically enough, now it's on Netflix. It's different now. Much like Pokemon and being a Gen 1er, I can look at what we refer to as, in the hobby, in the passion, in the fandom, of the allure of the eternal dance inside the squared circle, the Attitude Era. Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Triple H, The Undertaker, a man wearing a leather mask and fighting people with a sock for the love of mankind. And you look at it through that lens of childlike wonder and ever-acceptance. And then you look back on it, and it's still really fucking cool. Except maybe the unprotected chair shots to the head. That's changed, and the world's a better place for it. But much like Pokemon, I told a lie, Arcanine isn't my favourite Pokemon. Wrestlers are my favourite Pokemon. I would technically make it a Machamp or a Howlucha. But I digress. Like, I've just been to a show. And if you don't know what it is, it's like trying to explain kissing to someone. You really only know by either watching it or doing it. And I wouldn't be one for physically performing. I'd microphone better than anybody. I'd do an old promo for you, or I'd do commentary on a match. Because that's the whole weird, the word is kayfabe of it all. Because wrestling is born out of carnival speak. A brief history, if you would allow me the courtesy. Wrestling started in carnivals as a sideshow, with strong men doing bending the bar, ripping the phone book and all of this. And it evolved to, you can't beat our strong man. Then someone would show up out of the crowd and they would beat the strong man. Oh my God, wow, what's going on? And that would then advance to, well, these are going to have a fight to see who's the better strong man. And it went from there and evolved. And the moves evolved. Today, the things that these absolute, and I say this with all the love of my heart, nutcases, mat slappers, you beautiful, beautiful mat slappers are able to twist and cavort and elegantly beat the ever-loving horse hockey out of each other in ways in which I've only ever seen in the Kama Sutra while they're in mid-air. It's basically like Dragon Ball Z. But the idea that it started as a sideshow, and that is in the culture of wrestling. This carnival double talk, this kayfabe, this term of what's real is not real. Very much like an action movie. I'll date myself. Jason Statham gets hit by a car and then he gets up and you go, this is a great movie. But you see someone in wrestling take a clothesline and you go, oh, that's fake. I don't understand the people who don't get wrestling because it's not real. Talk to any wrestler. We have wonderful promotions in Ireland and everywhere. Independent wrestling, not just WWE or AEW, hey, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Not like the big boys. There's local scenes and local talent who are fucking phenomenal. AJ Styles, not a local lad. God, does he have lovely hair. But this idea that it starts as a lie. And if you don't really get past that, I fully understand. There's the door. Leave a like and comment. I love you. Kisses. But then when you're in and you've bought in, you get given this amazing, unfathomable universe of creativity and athleticism that is not on display in any other format wearing as equal sparkly jocks. There is all these in terms and like nearly Pavlovian responses at this stage where you hear wrestlers say, well, it's not ballet. Have you seen ballet? Ballet is tough as fuck. All respect to the ballerinas. But the idea that what a wrestler does is fall down on purpose. That's why I call them mat slappers. The art of falling down. The art of someone running directly at another human being as violently and aggressively as they can to just, in the absolute hiccup of time, get out of the way. So much so that your brain goes, whoa! I can't believe he didn't win with the Super Mega Ultra McDuck Slam. Wow! This is great! Always drink responsibly, but pints do really help. I didn't have them today, and I still loved it. I'm fascinated to know, if you watched wrestling, who was your favourite? But more specifically, why were they your favourite? Because the first person I ever saw who really captured me was Bret Hart. There was a vignette, a promo, where he was walking down the hallway and a little kid went, hey, Hitman. And he turned around and goes, hey, kid. And he gave him his beautiful pink sunglasses. I'm like, oh my God. That could be me. I could have sunglasses like that too. And I did, until they broke. Need to get another pair. But that's how easily I was swayed into loving wrestling, was bam, sunglasses. The piece of an ensemble given to a child in the front row. A tale as old as time. And then it evolved. And I started really appreciating the actual, like the matches, not just like the cartoonish nature of it all, and not really comprehending what was going on. And then really starting to just enjoy the matches. So around the time of like as you would know, the SmackDown 6. Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, Edge, Rey Mysterio, Chavo, and, unfortunately, Chris Benoit. That I will not go into. Of why I said unfortunately. If you know, you know. But these were like this unfathomable, different approach to me, where it became more about the fights, the matches, rather than the kind of soap opera style. And it won my heart. Every problem can be solved with a wrestling match. That would have made the presidential election far more interesting. Everything can be better. Everyone. Look at me. Look at me. Everything can be better if you just add wrestling. I remember watching Soccer AM, and they had like the little breaks in between, like the main segments of the show, where the blue and the red guy would fight each other. Easy, easy. You shut up. And I see why people just can't get involved. The same type of people who don't like pantos or musicals. And I now want to see a panto wrestling musical. My God. My God. Greatest thing ever. And I get it. If you don't like it. We bet each other around bouncy castles, as now I'm learning that tradition lives on. And I bring Ethan to shows. Sarah is actually, my wife, is a much bigger fan of wrestling than I am, even though I'm like the hyper fucking comic book writing nerd. And it's just something that we're a family who likes pro wrestling. Like me and my dad used to watch like Man United and Dublin GAA matches. And that really bonded us and became like a direct connection for us. Like, it's like that like, Ethan has learned to his own power and prowess how to drop kick. That's not a rugby term. That's when you fucking run at someone with your 2 feet and try and murder the poor mother lover. And he's picked it up himself, using it to great effect on that bouncy castle way back when. And he was on the bed. He was just kind of falling, just child being child, falling, bah, falling, bah, falling, bah, climb up, fall, climb up, fall. Jesus, your equilibrium, son, so impressive. And I had to show him how to fall properly. And I'm not one to be physically talented. All my talent's from the neck up. It's all in my eyebrows. I was showing him how to fall. Put your arms out, take your breath and fall. I was like, Jesus. And today I watched so many people fall down and get back up and fall down and get back up. It's a great lesson for life. You can always wear sparkly jocks. You can always have kick-ass entrance music. And when you fall back down, you can get back up. I mean, I'd love to talk more about it, but we're nearing the end of my allotted time. I would love to talk more about wrestling. My favourite matches, my favourite wrestlers. Ad nauseum, forever and ever and ever. Then, now, forever, together. But if you did like wrestling and you fell out of it, who was your favourite wrestler? If you're a fan today, who's your favourite wrestler? Can you recommend some matches? Can you send them to me? I have an Instagram. Links will be down there. I have ADHD. I can't remember it right now. Show me some matches. Show me some wrestlers. If you're in my local wrestling scene, hi guys. I talked about wrestling. God, I love wrestling. I'd love to be a commentator. Or an announcer. Definitely a commentator. We've got a brilliant announcer at the moment. And he's a very sexy waistcoat. Maybe one day. I'd love to announce Ethan's match. That'd be great. But for now, thank you so much for listening. And mind yourself. I'll talk to you real soon. Bye bye.